happened on November 15th, Monday. The first game is the Celtics beating the Cleveland Cavaliers 98-92. We have our friend Jason Tatum continue to struggle. 23 points is nice. It's just the field goal has been so bad. In the last 2 weeks, let's see his rankings improved. Not really, still the last 2 weeks, 95th ranked player, shooting 37% from the field. And his stats across the board is just, even 96 from the free throw line in the last 2 weeks as well. So efficiency-wise, really, really poor, and the counting stats have room to go up. To me, he's still a top 20 guy, so let's continue to buy low if we can. At Horford, but at some point, right, if they're not going to, trade you a top 30 player, then just let them deal with the headache, because he might continue to struggle for God knows how long. But I do think at some point this season he's gonna have a stretch where he put up top 5 numbers. Al Horford played well. He's a top 50 guy, so again, if you can get any top 20, 30 value back for Al Horford, I would. But I doubt anybody's gonna give you that. Robert Williams he didn't struggle. He got hurt. He had some left knee soreness. He should be back next week. I don't know. He's gonna miss a couple games. So Al Horford, a good time to sell high if he pops off in the next few games. Marcus Smart numbers, 14 points is nice, but 5 assists and 2 steals. While Dennis Schroeder remains to be a sell high, but if you need the points and the assist, he really offers you 2 categories. He's not a big steals guy either. So those two categories, they're also hardest to get on the waiver wire, so I don't think we drop him at any point. But he if you don't need one of those categories, if you don't need the assist, I really do look to sell him. Let's look at Cleveland Cavaliers. Evan Mobley, he had a horrible game, 28 minutes, and he also got hurt. His elbow, had some elbow issues. We don't know how many. We don't know how many games he's gonna miss. He might miss a few games, but it's not too serious. So, and he bounced back from this 0-11. His elbow obviously played a part, and also Celtics played a part in it. And they're without their center. Jared Allen was out, so him playing at the center maybe was also a little bit. He's still very early into his career, right? Playing a good Celtics team. Struggling is understandable. But the 9 rebound, 5 assists, and 2 blocks is still decent. More than decent, I would say. It's just 0-11 at 1 point. If anybody's panicking, I would buy low on him. He should be a top 50 player. Darius Garland played well, 17 points. The 2 assists, collectively as a team, they play pretty bad. Ricky Rubio popped off. He remains to be. I don't know how he took 20 shots. He must be getting a lot of open shots. He's just taking them. 28 points, 2 assists only as a result. No defensive stat. He remains to be a must roster. And Sandy Osman had a great game, but we should leave him on the waiver wire. It's not guaranteed he gets 30 minutes every single night. And Isaac Okoro, we should also leave him on the waiver wire. Last year, for a period of time, he was averaging 33 minutes a night, and he was not doing anything. So he had 3 steals here, which is good, but let's not trust him. Let's go to the next game. The Sacramento Kings destroyed the Detroit Pistons 129-107. This game wasn't close, and all the guys on the Kings played well. Chimezie Metu, we could look to stream him or roster him in 12 teams in category leagues. It's hard to get a center. I know on ESPN he has a center tag. Yahoo maybe just a power forward tag. It's better, like centers are harder to get. On the waiver wire especially, there's nobody. I don't think there's any center playing over 25 minutes. So, if he's out there on the waiver wire, I'll look to grab him. He also, he has, he didn't really play that many NBA games. So I don't know if he's a good defensive player. But now that Harkless is coming off Harkless didn't even play. So let's see. If you can, if you grab him and he plays well, I also look to sell him. Because I think, Luke Walton might mess with the rotations. Who knows? And Marvin Bagley played 17 minutes. So I don't know what's going on. They're just trying out new things, basically desperate to not get fired. So I would, if he plays well, I look to sell him for any top 80 player. He might have a stretch where he's top 50. Harrison Barnes played okay, but he's still a bust roster and no longer a sell high because lately he hasn't been putting up some crazy stats. Richaun Holmes 9 for 10 against the bad Detroit Pistons team. Okay, no defensive stats, but still very good. Tyrese Halliburton is why he's so good in category leagues. 5 turnovers is not good, but everything else is so good. He's pretty much a 9 category guy. He doesn't really turn the ball over that much, and he gets. And counting stat wise is not huge. Like he doesn't get a lot of points, but he gives you decent points, decent assists, decent rebound, really good steals, and really good blocks and good efficiency, as we see here. De'Aaron Fox again struggled. Even when they have a blowout win, he goes 8 for 19. But when you drafted De'Aaron Fox, you're probably thinking about punting field goal or free throw, one of the two. And good thing is he didn't turn the ball over. 0 turnovers, 9 assists and 3 steals. So, good game from him. Buddy Hield hit 6 threes. That's it. Yep, that's Buddy Hield for us. And Davio Mitchell again. I don't think we want to roster him at this point of the season. Maybe once he starts getting 30 minutes, he could be a top 100 guy. But playing 20 minutes, come on, guys. Detroit Pistons. Saddiq Bey played well, even though the team got destroyed. I think we still roster him. He's a really good rebounder. He doesn't give us assists. He gives us some steals. So I'd say, if you're punting assist, I feel like he could be. You could think about rostering him for sure. Decent threes as well. And Dwayne Casey loved this guy. Always play this guy. Huge minutes. Jeremy Grant struggled. Yeah, I was talking about Jeremy Grant the other day. He has very high very high ceilings and very low floors. So his rankings could fluctuate a lot. It could be top 20 one night, top 20 in 2 weeks, period of time, and then outside of 200. So I look to buy low. When you buy low, throw your top 70, 80 guy at him, and when you sell high, try to sell a top 40 guy. That should be the strategy. Otherwise, just hold. On the season, he's a 73rd ranked player. Honestly, that's probably where he would end up, in the 70 or 80 range. Isaiah Stewart, good. Played 27 minutes, grabbed 15 rebounds, 7 offensive rebounds. If he, I don't think he's dropped, right? If he's dropped in on league, I would go grab him, even though it's tough a lot of the games. But that's what happens with a lot of centers. A lot of the centers, they're always in foul trouble, and their minutes are inconsistent as well. Killian Hayes, 23 minutes. I don't think we want to drop Killian Hayes after this bad game. I think he's still a hold. In category leagues, the assists and steals are nice. I mean, he did a little bit everything. 0 points is bad, but 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and steal and a block is decent. And Cade Cunningham, one of it, the best game of the. He shot the ball well, 5 for 11, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals. So pretty good. And same thing with Cade Cunningham. If he plays well like this, 25 points for the next week or so, I look to sell him for a top 40 guy. He's not going to be this consistent. I could almost bet my money. They're going to be up and down. And, when they're playing really, really well, they probably have higher ceilings than a lot of top 40 or 50 guys. But overall value-wise, they're going to fluctuate up and down a lot. So I would look to sell them if he continues to play like this. But he's obviously a must roster. Let's go to the next game. The New Orleans Pelicans losing to the Washington Wizards. Wizards, they're winning games. I mean, even without Bradley Beal, they're by far their best player. So gotta give them some credit. And they are 10-3. Very good. Pelicans, they are a mess. They're not the worst team because they got Rockets behind their backs. But 2-13 start of the season is horrible. Josh Hart, 13 points, 12 rebounds, and a steal. No, if you need rebounds, sure. I don't think about. I think you could think about rostering him, and the minutes is super high at the moment, so I think we need to grab him until Brandon Ingram is already back and he's still getting huge minutes. So I think we could roster him. Who knows when Zion comes back? He might still getting huge minutes. Brandon Ingram, great game, but no defensive stats. This is gonna be this is gonna be Brandon Ingram for the rest of his career. I don't know. Last year, no defensive stat. This year, no defensive stat. He's just not trying on the defensive end. That's also a possibility. That's why they're losing games. Valanciunas. He was a minus 22. I have a theory. Maybe they give Valanciunas too many minutes. That's why Pelicans started off so horribly. Give a guy like this in the modern NBA huge minutes he's gonna put up big stats, big rebound stats, big field goal, big points on the other side. But overall, because he cannot go out and guard perimeter guys. So if they ever go small versus this team, I think it's free money, pretty much. His lateral quickness is horrible. Valanciunas he was a minus 22. But fantasy-wise, he's great. 16 points, 9 rebounds. I don't think we should worry too much about Zion's return, to be honest. He should still be getting a good chunk of minutes. It's just Josh Hart going to the bench, coming off the bench, and Zion start. But the spacing is may be a problem, with Zion. Valanciunas in that sense can operate inside the perimeter because Zion really isn't a good shooter. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a buy low. He's going to be up and down. He's very inconsistent, but I think we got to hold him. 30 minutes for Devontae Graham. 4 threes, 2 assists. Not the best game for him as well. And for the Wizards, KCP. KCP's been getting a lot of steals. 2 steals, 4 threes, 18 points. Wizards are playing great defense. KCP, when he was on the Lakers, he wasn't getting any defensive stats. And now, I think for the season, he's averaging 1.4, 1.5. So that's great. That has some streaming value. So, if Wizards got a back-to-back, you could potentially stream him. Kyle Kuzma, not his best game, but I think we still want to hold on to him. 8 points and 8 rebounds. Daniel Gafford played 24 minutes while Montrezl Harrell played 24 minutes as well. Had 3 blocks. I think Daniel Gafford is a hold. You're not gonna, if you want to drop him, if you think he's useless, at least try to trade because you're not gonna find any centers out there that consistently average 1.7, 1.8 steals. Blocks. That's value right there. That's really good value right there. So I wouldn't drop him just because he doesn't really offer you any steal. Well, he gets some steals, but his points and threes are almost non-existent. So maybe I would look to trade him, if he doesn't fit your team. But again, if he doesn't fit your team, why would you draft him, right, in the first place? Because we know coming in, his biggest category is blocks. Everything else is going to be very, very average. Spencer Dinwiddie, 34 minutes, 27 points, 9 assists. Huge game for Dinwiddie, maybe a sell high. To me, he's just a top 80 guy. If you can get any top 20 to 50 guy back, he's still just a 93rd player in the last 2 weeks. Big thing is averaging 0.3 steals. As a point guard, you don't get any steals. That's a problem. If he can average 1, he should be he can push up to top 50 or 60, But because he doesn't get any, his ranking is going to be pretty bad. That's basically one category. Just in one category as a point guard, one category you're supposed to contribute, you're a negative. That really doesn't help your rankings. The next game, the Orlando Magic losing. The other Hawks, they were struggling, but then they won two straight, led by Trae Young, I suppose. Still 6-9, but they're coming. They're coming. It's a long season, and the Magic, they start off the season well. Well, they didn't. They did. They're 3-11. Fred Wagner, pretty good game, 19 points, 5 rebounds and 3 threes. Just that one top 100 guy. If he has good games, I would look to trade him for do a 2-for-1s to get that top 50, 60, 70 guy. Wendell Carter Jr. Has been playing really well. I would look to sell high on him, to be honest. He in the last 2 weeks he's a 55th ranked player. Okay, so not too crazy, not too crazy. But either way, he's been playing really well in the last 2 weeks, averaging 15 points and 2.5 threes. That's a lot of threes coming from Wendell Carter Jr. And 10 rebound is nice. It's just the block numbers is a bit low. that you have to nitpick. Mo Bamba 30 minutes, played great. I have 5 personal fouls, but he delivers with his defensive stats. He is no longer shooting the ball well, but who cares? Bamba in the last 2 weeks, averaging just 9.8 points. He's a 16th ranked player. Probably sell high in the last 2 weeks, just to 10 points, but 1.3 steals and 2.3 blocks. My God, while shooting 37% from the field. So if he just shoot better, a little bit better, he's inside of top 10. This man is really scary. I look to sell high, and also we don't want Jonathan Isaac. Who knows, if they're gonna start Wendell Carter Jr. at the center, because at this point Wendell Carter Jr. is a better player than Mo Bamba in real life, not in fantasy, of course. Bamba gets way more defensive stats, but it will be interesting to see what happens when Jonathan. But that's long. That's still like a month away or 2 months away. Who knows? And when he does come back, he's gonna miss a bunch of games. Cole Anthony, great. I mean, this game, Jalen Suggs is out. So Jalen Suggs wasn't playing well anyway, so I think I'm very okay moving on from Jalen Suggs. 20 and Markel Fultz is going to be back too. Cole Anthony continues to play well, but I do worry Markel Fultz coming back going to take some of his playmaking away. But he's running the show in Orlando. For the Atlanta Hawks, Kevin Huerter, he was a stream of pickup, but he hurt himself. So I think we should think about picking up Cam Reddish. If you don't care about the field goal, I think he's going to have some value. Playing 30 minutes a night. John Collins, great game, 2 steals. Went to free throw line 14 times, 23. But haven't really seen him. 2 steals and 2 blocks is good. So that's one of the best games from Collins this season. He is in the last 2 weeks 48th ranked player. So not too crazy, just in that top 50 range. Clint Capella finally against a bad Orlando team. 3 steals and 2 blocks, 20.6 rebounds. Here's what we're looking for from Clint Capella. So no longer a buy low. If you continue to play well, maybe a sell high. Bogdanovic, 30 minutes, just not the hit for 3. That's nice, but I don't know if you would go back to the top 20 value. He was we were having a top 20 Bogdanovic last year toward the end of the season. Trae Young, 23 points. This is the Trae Young for you. 3 threes, high turnovers. 1 steal is nice, and 2 or 4 from the free throw line. But huge assist, huge points, huge free throw usually. But the guy's rankings in 9 categories are going to be just in that top 50 range, I think, unless he does something crazy. In the last 2 weeks, 24th ranked player, averaging 28 points. But the 0.8 steals and 0.1 blocks is really a big reason, why it's holding him back. Efficiency-wise, he actually shot the ball pretty well, 46.7%. But it's just the defensive that is holding him back. Cam Reddish, I think we could stream him or pick him up. He gets a lot of, steals and threes. And we're adding a little bit of points if he play 30 minutes tonight. The next game, the Indiana Pacers losing to the New York Knicks 84-92. Justin Holiday, 8 points. Yep, not really interesting. Sabonis have a huge game, sure. 2 for 5 from the free throw line is bad, but 15 rebounds, 3 assists, and steal, 21 points. And Miles Turner. He's very up and down. Another guy, very high floors and very low floors and very high ceilings. But still contributed 1 steal and 2 blocks. So you can't really complain too much. Malcolm Brogdon, 22 points. Probably a sell high. Brogdon, this is getting old. He always run out of gas at the second half of the season. So we could hold him for now and enjoy him. But he also gets hurt a lot. Karis LeVert, 5 for 14 from the field, but we shouldn't be surprised. 7 for 7 from the free throw line is surprising. 17 points and 2 steals. He should give us good counting stat like a Kevin Porter Jr., but just expect his efficiency to be really bad. Not as bad as Kevin Porter Jr., of course. And TJ McConnell, with everybody back, he played just the 22 minutes. I think if you need assists and steals, he is still a hold. I don't think I would drop him after this one bad game. Because if you need those stats, you're not going to get anybody on the waiver wire. You don't have anybody like him, right? You don't have any other choices. For the New York Knicks, oh boy, the minutes for some of the starters. RJ, sure, getting the 30 minutes, but how much is he really contributing? I don't know. Is that fringe? I'd rather stream RJ than hold him all the time. Julius Randle, already falling off a little bit, but they still got the win. 11 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block. Randle has not been good lately. The first few games, I think, sure, a lot of the Knicks play. Yeah, 160th ranked player, so it's got to be a buy low. Averaging 20 points and 10 rebounds still, but shooting 41% from the field and 65% from the free throw line. And low defensive stats, so a buy low. Any top 50 player for Randle, I would do it. But because he's drafting so high, it will be tough. It's easier to sell Randle high than buy him low, I think. Mitchell Robinson had 3 blocks in 15 minutes. He also, he was having a decent game, with block shots, but unfortunately he got hurt. Evan Fournier and Kemba. What are we gonna do with them? They were playing pretty bad. Like Kemba in his 20 minutes, he was minus 15, so he didn't play in the fourth quarter. Put up 16 points and nothing else. And Evan Fournier, I think they both could be drops, to be honest. They're both droppable. For sure, they're both droppable. It depends on how many acquisitions you have on your team, because Kemba occasionally, he was last game he had 26 points. Occasionally he's gonna have those big games, but I would say 50% of the time he might just play 20 minutes. So that's what Tim Thibodeau, D-Rose was a plus 22 and he's 24 minutes. So you can't go back to Kemba. That makes sense. I think it's the right coaching decision. But you cannot expect Kemba to play 30 minutes every single night. I wouldn't say 50%, but 30% of games he may just play 20 minutes. So that makes his value. He's just maybe 100, 110, 120. So not a must roster. So I think, especially if you got some hot waiver agent, I think just gotta cut him. Gotta make some hard choices. The next game is the Denver Nuggets losing to Dallas Mavericks. Jokic, huge game. 37 minutes, 35 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 blocks. I still think he's the number one guy over Curry for the rest of the season. So if you can do that trade, I think I want to do that trade. 3 for 6 from the free throw line is bad, but everything else is great. Jeff Green, we could roster him, but this game, the man is given 30 minutes a night. We just want to see what he's doing with it. Not doing much at the moment. Aaron Gordon gets huge minutes, but 7 rebounds, 14 points, and nothing else. He just doesn't get assists, steals, and blocks. Those categories. So really, he just become I don't know. His efficiency is not great. That's why his rankings. He's getting huge minutes, but fantasy-wise, occasionally he's gonna give you a bunch of steals and blocks, because his size and his high playing minutes. But not the best. Monty Morris actually played well. 17 points, 8 assists, a steal, and a block. Hey, if you need a point guard, I don't expect Monty Morris to average over 5 assists, maybe 4, and 10 points. So that's still great. But he's higher. He doesn't have that high ceiling. If you got TJ McConnell, he could have a game where he give you 10 assists. I don't know how often Monty Morris can give you 10 assists. I don't think he, maybe 10%. As long as Jokic is around, I don't think that's gonna happen very often. 8 assists here is real nice, and 37 minutes is nice. So I could, you need some assists and some threes, some points. You could roster him, but not the sexiest for sure. For the Mavericks, Dorian Finney-Smith played 22 minutes. He's a good streamer for defensive stats and some rebound. And Kristaps Porzingis, wow, 33 minutes, played super well. 29, he had 32 points and had 29 points here. I think this is a really good sell high for Porzingis for top 30 value. In the last 2 weeks, he's a 10th ranked player. Now you can sell him for a top 20. Try that. If not, just hold him. Like if you trade him for a top 50 player, you might lose out. Maybe there's a small chance he doesn't get hurt or he doesn't miss games. We know he's gonna miss like back-to-backs anyways. But yeah, I really look to sell him. He played 43 games last year, 57 the year before, and 48 the year before. So on average, you'd say like he plays around 40, let's say 48 games or 50 games. So which is still okay. Like playing 50 games out of 80, it's bad, but not. I don't know if you're a betting man, what's his over and under, how many games Porzingis is gonna play this season. I imagine not good, just because his availability, and if he's playing this well, if he can get a top 20 guy back, just same value on a per game basis or a little bit less value, I think it's a win. But again, like the category he brings is very unique. Also the reason why his ranking is so high is he gets you the blocks. But either way, really, really good stuff from Porzingis. If you cannot sell him, just fine, just hold. Tim Hardaway Jr. 33 minutes and 2 threes, 19 points, sure. A 3.8 streamer. Luka, I feel like Luka is playing better and better. Even though efficiency-wise, this game is horrible, but 11 assists, 2 steals. I mean, last week he had a 15, 16 assist game. This game here, 11 assists. I think a lot of the assists probably went to Porzingis. 8 rebound, 2 steals and a block. Great. Jalen Brunson also great, 6 assists. You just won't find another guy that can give you 5 assists and 15 points on the waiver wire. I don't think you can do that. Even though other categories is okay. Yep. Let's go to the next game. Houston Rockets. Yeah, man, Rockets are bad. What happened to making a lineup change? Silas didn't do anything. And Kevin Porter Jr. left the game, had a thigh issue. But before, he was actually decent, 2 steals and 2 blocks. Well, 2 for 11 is bad. He was a minus 20. But, we still want to hold him. He might miss a few games. I think it might be good for him, just to watch some films and see what he's doing wrong, He's been super, super bad in his efficiencies, but the counting stats, you could live with it. If you're punting 2 efficiency categories, I think you can live with it. Jalen Green, another below average game. 15 points is good, 2 threes, a steal, but I don't see where Jalen Green's upside is. Maybe if Kevin Porter Jr. is out, let's see if Jalen Green can put together some nice games. But I would look to sell him if, let's say, he plays well without Kevin Porter Jr. But I doubt any Rockets is going to play well. I doubt it. Something's got to change. Daniel Theis started, didn't really do anything. Christian Wood continues to be a horrible shooter. Maybe it's the system. I don't think Christian Wood got worse. He hit his free throws even. But the Rockets, they're dumb. They are really horrible at the moment. Something's got to change. Şengün coming off the bench, play 18 minutes. Maybe give Şengün more minutes. I don't know. Something's got to change. 9 points, still in the block. He's not a must roster. But on the waiver wire, you don't find centers. Out of all the centers, it's hard to find centers just to play over 20 minutes. To be honest, like Precious Achiuwa is a guy that a lot of people were streaming because he's rebound, and he was only playing 23 minutes a night. So if you need a center, I don't hate you holding on to him, but if you don't need a center, then sure, you don't need him. You could drop him, or until he starts. Who knows when he's gonna start? For the Grizzlies, easy win. So the minutes are a little bit low across the board, which is good, especially for Ja Morant. He needs to. It's a long season. 22 points for Ja Morant, 4 threes. That's another thing. He's hitting a lot of threes. He's getting a lot of steals. So his rankings is in that top 30. Like if he can average 1.5 steals, he could be a top 30 player and hit a little bit more three. Desmond Bane, Still got his 24 minutes. So Coach Jenkins just don't like DeAnthony Melton, right? Desmond Bane, you could still hold him, but the value is minimum, like top 100. That's it. And with everybody around, I thought he's gonna go off. Steven Adams, very close to a drop. But again, like I said, you're not gonna find any centers playing over 20 minutes. So somebody in your league is gonna scoop him up. So I would look to trade him to a team that needs some center or not afraid of his free throws. But 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals is fine. 2 points is bad, but a lot of big men, their minutes up and down, they struggle. Jerry Jackson Jr. had pretty good game, 2 steals and 2 blocks, 7 rebounds and 2 threes. Jerry Jackson Jr. have huge upside, but can he put it together? Is the question. In the last 2 weeks, in just 26 minutes, he's a 54th ranked player, averaging just 14 points, but 2 blocks, shooting 38%. This is actually for the season. He's a 54th ranked player. So you can last 2 weeks he actually the 36th ranked player. So you can shoot 38% from the field and being the 54th ranked player. That's hard to do. That's really hard to do. Obviously, mainly due to his 2 blocks a game. And you could argue that if he plays higher minutes, that means he's not that aggressive going for blocks. So his blocks numbers could go lower. Yeah, sure. But Jerry Jackson Jr. has top 30 upside, and his floor might be 60, 70. Actually, he has a pretty low floor as well. But yeah, after this game, it will be hard to buy low. DeAnthony Melton, I think, is a drop. 60 minutes, he had 3 steals this game, but very close to a drop. Very, very close. And this is a blowout, and he still only got 60 minutes as a guy coming off the bench. So I think we gotta move on. It was fun while it lasted, right? But now we gotta move on. The next game, the Phoenix Suns, did they lose or did they win? Yep, they beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 99-96. Mikhail Bridges, man, this is super, super disappointing. I would still buy low. Throw like your the top 80 guy at him. Like if I can trade Franz Wagner for Mikhail Bridges, I would. Even though who knows, Mikhail Bridges, if he doesn't get the defensive stats, who knows where he's gonna be end up. Just the 1 steal. Just want to see him get 3 steals. I don't care about anything else. Jay Crowder 0 for 9. Wow, it's crazy game from Jay Crowder. They still won 99-96. He's just a streamer. I think we know that. DeAndre Ayton came back and had a great game, 22 points and 12 rebounds. But want to see some defensive stats. A good field goal game from him as well. Devin Booker 29 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Devin Booker quietly has been putting together 31st ranked player in the last 2 weeks, averaging 23 points and 1.4 steals. So hey, if Devin can average just 1.2, 1.3, that really helps his value, and he can get like 5 assists, 5.5. He could still be a top 30 player. 13 for 14 from the free throw line is also nice. Turnover is an issue, but it's looking not bad. It's not looking too bad. Chris Paul, 8 assists and a steal, 21 points. I think 8-9 assists is realistic and 1.5 steals. But so far, Chris Paul has been crazy. 4th ranked player in the last 2 weeks. I expect it to be a drop off. You could still sell him high for any, I think, top 20 player. For the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards is the buy low. But if you look at the other stats, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, and still 3 blocks, it's hard to buy low in category leagues. He struggled from the field, 2 for 11, 9 points, 4 for 6 from the free throw line is bad. But this is when this guy is a beast. In fantasy, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, and still 3 blocks when he has an off night. Vanderbilt and Jaden McDaniels, what's up with the rotation? You just don't know. They both got decent minutes, but they didn't really do anything. So I don't think I want to hold. I feel too good holding any one of them or stream them because they might just play 50 minutes and not giving a thing. Karl Anthony Towns played 40 minutes, huge minutes. So that's more like it. 35 points, 13 rebounds, and a steal, 5 threes. D'Lo took 21 shots, 22 points is nice. He mainly just the points and well, 3 categories: points, threes, and assist. He could bring in a little bit steals as well, but efficiency-wise, bad free throw shooter. Not horrible, but like 78, 79 on high percentages. Like some weeks he could go 10 for 10, but some weeks he could really hurt you. So, I would be careful holding D'Lo, and if he has great games like this, I think it's okay to trade him for a top 50 guy. If your team is looking for some great efficiency, you could look to trade D'Lo. Patrick Beverley played 33 minutes, had an okay game, 10 points, 7 rebounds, and assists. I think he could be rostered in 12-team leagues because he has that upside to get you a little bit of everything out. The next game, the Miami Heat beating Oklahoma City. Duncan Robinson, in the short term, I think we want to roster him without Jimmy Butler. He's going to get off more shots, 15 points, 15 shot attempts, 21 points, and mainly just the points and 3 streamer. PJ Tucker, not really. And Dwayne Dedmon. I think I don't think Bam is going to be out for that long. But, if Bam continues to be out, let's continue stream Dwayne Dedmon. This guy has top 50 upside. This game, 1 steal, 3 blocks, 7 rebounds. That's all I need to see. And play pretty well. Tyler Hero, also a sell high. Without Jimmy Butler, 26 points and got 2 steals. So that's surprising. 6 assists and 7 rebounds, 5 threes. Tyler Hero and some of the Heat guys probably a sell high. Once Jimmy Butler comes back, they won't get this level of opportunity. Kyle Lowry, 11 assists. Sure. Kyle Lowry should be solid top 60, top 70 guy. If he shoots the ball a bit better, he could be moving inside the top 50. Let's look at Oklahoma City. Finally, they only gave Darius Bazley 25 minutes, but he got 5 blocks. Wow. If he can block shot, he can average 1.5 block. I think we could roster him. But I think it's just one game. Let's just keep him on the waiver wire. I think Lou Dort, 4 threes and 20 points, a points and 3 streamer, and Jermaine Robinson-Earl. We gotta look at him and think about pick him up. The minutes is not there yet. If he get up to 30 minutes, I think I'd be much more comfortable. Pick him up. He did hit 4 threes, so that's encouraging. And as a center, I mean, he's gonna average like a block, hopefully. So we could watch him at least. Josh Giddey continues to struggle shooting the 3, 0 for 5, but 9 rebounds, 9 assists, still and 2 blocks. He's back. He's gonna struggle. It was a good buy low opportunity, but this game, 9 rebounds, 9 assists is pretty good. Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 2 for 11, 10 points. Remains to be a buy low, I think. You should look at him as a top 30 guy, but so far this season he hasn't been that. Like he's like around the top 60. He hasn't had any, last 2 weeks. His ranking is pretty bad. 71st ranked player. We got to look at him as a top 30 player. So he's shooting the ball pretty badly. He's struggling a little bit. I think he'll be better than this next time around. Let's go to the next game. The Toronto Raptors losing to the Portland Trailblazers. That's a little bit embarrassing. For the Toronto Raptors, OG, he's back, 29 points, 3 threes. Honestly, I just want to see more defensive stats and some blocks, but really good game from him. Scotty Barnes played for him. Dude, like all the Toronto starters play 40 minutes. Coach Nurse just doesn't have anybody off the bench that he trusts. That is crazy. Everybody played 40 minutes, and they got the win. So I think, I'm okay with OG play 40 minutes. He doesn't have an injury. Scotty Barnes is fine. He's a rookie. Gary Trent Jr. is also fine. But I worry about Siakam and Fred VanVleet. If they're going to play 30, 40, and Fred VanVleet already have a grown issue, and he's playing through it, I really try to sell high Fred VanVleet. I just don't like guys have lingering injuries, and they keep playing. That's going to hurt their production. So Fred VanVleet, any second round player, like I want to do that trade. Siakam, any top 40 or 50 player, I would do that trade. And he came back and played pretty well. So I really, this is something I think about. I mean, you don't have to trade him if you're not gonna get equal value back. But if you could get equal value back, and if you can do a trade that makes sense to your team, for example, you don't want his bad field goal, then I'd really look to trade him to get equal value, or maybe miss a little bit of value as well, if that fits your team, of course. And obviously with his groin injury, Pascal Siakam also I look to trade him if he has a good game. He's gonna miss some back-to-backs, so 20 points, 6 rebounds. It's not the best game, but if he pops off, I really look to trade him. Gary Trent Jr. continues to get crazy amount of steals, 2 steals again. When you play 40 minutes, I guess on the Raptors, 2 steals is not too crazy. Although collectively as a team, they only got 7 steals. Scotty Barnes, not the best game from him. No defensive set, but 18 and 8. You can't really complain too much. But pretty much all the fantasy values from the 5 starters. And I look to try if Siakam and Fred VanVleet play well for a stretch of time, I look to sell them. For the Portland Trailblazers, good to see Damian Lillard come back, play 40 minutes, had 24 points, 8 assists, 2 steals in a block, and another guy that I think we should try to sell him, for a first rounder, or lose a little bit of value. It's fine, because he's clearly playing through an injury, and I just don't like that. I don't like that. And the Portland, they're not going anywhere, so I don't know. If I own Damian Lillard, I look to, if I cannot get a top 15 player back, then I just hold him. I just hold him. For CJ, great game, 29 points, and then brought the defensive stats. Both Damian and CJ, 1 steal and 2 blocks, 6 assists and 6 threes. So finally a good game from him. And Nurkic, a buy low, 18 minutes. In 18 minutes, he grabbed 14 rebounds, but I don't know what's the deal with Nurkic, to be honest. Super inconsistent with the minutes, and he only had 2 personal fouls. I don't know what's going on. They gave Larry Nance Jr. 23 minutes. They gave Nasser Little 24, while Robert Covington and Nurkic got 23 and 18 minutes. So Robert Covington had 3 blocks. That really helped his value, and 3 threes. He was really, really close to droppable. But we always know that give the man some minutes, he's going to put up some huge fantasy stats. And this game is decent for sure. 3 blocks is really nice. Norman Powell, pretty boring, 12 and 1. But still a hold. And we could look to stream Nasser Little and Larry Nance Jr. If they got a back-to-back, they playing 24 minutes a night, could have some value in a back-to-back setting. Let's look at the last game of the night. The Lakers got destroyed by the Bulls. And Alex Caruso was a minus 28, so they are starting him with Vucevic out. It's hard to sell him high when he scores 0 points, right? If he scored like 13 points, I think this is a perfect time to sell Alex Caruso. First of all, he's not going to play 35 minutes with Vucevic back. So that's number one. And I guess that's it. Just not the playing time. Just not enough playing time. 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals is nice. But we shouldn't expect him to get 35 plus minutes every single night. Because Vucevic is out, they're changing the lineup a little bit. They're going small, right? A lot of the time. And with Vucevic, they don't have to go small because Vucevic can stretch the floor. DeMar DeRozan going off, 38 points. DeMar DeRozan is a sell high. Like, if I can sell DeRozan to get a Jason Tatum, I don't think so. That's a very easy trade to make. I think Tatum is going to be better than DeRozan the rest of the season, but I just don't know how much better. But you could do that trade, and I don't think Tatum owner is going to say no. I think 90% of Tatum are going to say yes. They're going to say yes. Yeah. If I can get a Bradley Beal, I feel much better about it. I think Bradley Beal should be better than DeRozan. DeRozan in the last 2 weeks, he is the 18th ranked player, averaging 28 points, He's shooting the ball incredibly, 52.7%, 88% from the free throw line on 9 attempts. He's not really bringing a lot of defensive stats, and he doesn't really hit any threes. So that's his weakness. But everything else is super good. Zach Levine, same thing. Like, DeRozan is playing better than Zach Levine right now. In fantasy, too. They both don't really get any defensive stats, but Zach Levine hit threes. That's the difference. And DeRozan goes to the free throw line a little bit more. Zach Levine, I mean, I think the counting stats look good, but just no defensive stats. So I just don't think Zach Levine is a top 20 guy this season. If he cannot improve his defensive stats, just a top 30. And he's not really getting any assists as well with Lonzo Ball. He's a 77th ranked player in the last 2 weeks. With Lonzo Ball around, it's hard to get too many assists. So that's another thing. Last year he was going alongside Kobe White. Kobe White actually came back, and let's see what Kobe White does. But I don't think he's gonna get 25 minutes tonight. Just come off the bench, get 15 to 20. Lonzo Ball played really good. 37. He was a buy low, but hit 7 threes here. That now it's over. If he bought low on him, really nice. 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals. Now let's look at the Lakers. Taylor Horton-Tucker is a sell high. If he can get any top 50 or 60 value back. So this game he played 37 minutes because they just really wanted to give him some minutes. He had 28 points. Shot the ball really well, 6 for 4 for 9 from the 3. But LeBron is out. And LeBron is going to be back very, very soon. I don't expect him to get 37 minutes a night, first of all. And then the usage, the first two games, he's a 19th ranked player. So any top 50, 60 guy, you would do it. And because there are a lot of uncertainties at the moment, what the rotation is going to look like, because he didn't really get an opportunity to play a lot last year. So I really look to sell him high. I think I'm on the side where, I don't expect him to be that great. So I really look to sell him. Carmelo Anthony could be a points and 3 streamer. Had 2 steals, so that's good. AD got ejected for telling the referee that he's still tying his shoes, and they inbounded the ball. Like, the referee let them inbound the ball. So before he left, was okay. 1 steal, 20 points. And 8 for 9 from the free throw line is nice. And Russell Westbrook, 9 for 10 from the free throw line. That really helps his value. But just an average game. And Russell Westbrook maybe also a sell high. With LeBron back, he won't be getting those assists. I just don't think he's going to get 10 assists a game with LeBron around. And that's it, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.